Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Are you outside today?
No, I'm inside. It's kind of cold outside.
Well, I don't know if it's cold, but it's rainy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I tried to buy the book, but I don't know how. It's kind of complicated, like really complicated.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you and then you can see because I'm just doing, or maybe you can see it right now. Can you see the Moodle on my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
So you're going to go up to where it says start here.
I already bought it, but I don't know. They said a code or something like that.
Yes.
I already bought it. I already paid for it.
Okay. Do you see this one here? Directions to set up your online workbook, class code included. You're going to click that, and I'll put the code somewhere too. You'll open that, and inside there is the code with the directions of how to set up the workbook. Here, you see this right here?
Yes.
E4GE, blah, blah, blah. So
No, it's kind of frozen right now. I can't see it.
Okay.
Still on Moodle.
All right. I have a little timer on there. I don't know why.
Oh.
Okay, I'll stop and then start. But I'm going to let these other people in because they may have
All right.
They may have the same questions. So I'll let them come in. Hi, Joanna. Good to see your face today. Mohammed, you can share your screen too, so we can get to know you.
Me?
Not share your screens, share your video if you can. I'd like to be you guys to get to know each other. And it's easier if you can see your faces.
Good morning.
Good morning, Randala. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am good. There you are, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo, you prefer Mo, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm still learning how to let people in from the waiting room. Here we go. Oh, I see. They're joining. Mo had a question about buying adding the class code to the online workbook. I think you guys already have it. Rendala, not sure about Joanna. I can't remember everybody whose name is on there.
I don't have it online. I just have like the book like that.
Oh, well, you'll need to get the online workbook, Joanna, because you're doing all of your exercises online, and that's how.
I will.
Okay, so you have to buy an access code, and then you use the access code to get into our class online. I'll show you in a minute.
All right.
And put your name in the chat. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Joanna. You followed my directions.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to put the agenda up here. It's not it. Let's see. Oh. And yeah. Okay. Nope, that's not it. That is not it. Okay. Go back to something else. Agenda for Wednesday. There we go. So I'm going to try to put the agenda on the Moodle site. So if you want to look at it before class, you can do that. This is the one I made for today. I had spare time, so I had fun finding Sabah al Khair, Buenos dias. I think we only have 2 languages. I do know a few things in Arabic. Who else is joining us here? Good morning, Rahim. Sabah al khair. Good morning, Nasrain.
Good morning, teacher.
I have to keep track of the waiting room because I don't want people to be waiting there forever. So I'm learning how to keep track of that on my screen here. So many things to learn. Are you guys comfortable with using the computer and Zoom and Moodle, or do you feel uncomfortable about that still?
It's a little bit weird.
All right. Good morning, Monica. I see that you're joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Love to see your face if we can. I'm going to be, I can't require you to use your video according to the college, but I strongly suggest we use it so we can feel like we're in a class, right? Because if we have a screen of black boxes, I feel very strange and like, is anybody here? Is anybody listening to me? Who are these people? Since we have a small class, we can certainly get to know each other a little bit better. Okay, did anybody else join us? Mandala, Mohammed, I'm learning your names. Mandala, I know what you look like. Mo, got you with your baseball hat. Do you usually wear the baseball hat? Is that usual for you? Okay.
Sometimes because my hair is messy sometimes.
I see. It's like a man's hijab. Is that right? Okay. Nesrain, all right. I'm trying to see your pictures here so I can get to know your faces. And Monica, you have a beautiful background. It looks so pretty.
Thank you.
And Joanna, good to meet you today and see your face. And Reham, I can't quite see your face because you're in a shadow, but I will get to know you. Ah, thank you. I'm just trying to connect your face with your name, and that just helps me as a teacher to get to know you. Okay, it's 9:33, so don't forget to put your name in the chat. When you enter the classroom, you want to put your name in the chat. Let's see, who do I have here? Okay, so I see Rendala, Nasrain, Mohammed, Joanna, Abdul Rahim, and so Monica, don't forget, right? You want to do that when you first come, so then I know who's here and what time, and that's just a part of your attendance record. So we're still waiting for a couple people. I want to give people a little bit of a chance to join these first few days because some people may not know what they're doing. So I'll just show you today what we're doing while we're waiting for a couple of people. If you have any questions for me about buying the online book, well, you were asking me about that and using it, I'll answer that in just a moment. Then I'm going to tell you about your big reading challenge, your reading assignment for this class. And then I'll give you a short vocabulary lesson, and I will explain the vocabulary homework, and I'll explain the discussion board homework. And then at the end of class, you're going to do a practice quiz so you can see how to do that. So that's, hopefully we can finish all of that today. We have a lot of things to set up and directions. So the first week, there's a lot of directions, and you might feel overwhelmed or confused, but I'm sure that by the second, third, fourth week, we will all know better what to do. So let me start by talking about the online book and workbook, since some of you had a question. How many of you, if you can use your reactions, or you can raise your hand, how many of you bought the online workbook already? So Monica bought it, Rahim, sorry. Nasrain. Okay. And I think some of you also joined the class. Nasrain, did you join the class on my ELT?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got an email from me that said you joined. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the names. Who else was in my class? I can't remember who else joined the my ELT. Rahim, did you join the my ELT workbook? Yeah. Did you join the workbook as well as by the online access code?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know there's some of you, and I wrote you an email and said you did it correctly if you did it. Okay, so let me just show you one more time how to do that if you didn't do it yet. So I'm going to go back here. So go back to our Moodle page. I guess I could have stayed on there. Again, the screen sharing is a little bit awkward, but I'm learning. Okay, so if you go back to our Moodle page and you go to where it says start here, that's everything you need. I think most of you have done this who are on this class so far, but just to make sure, you'll click this link to buy the online workbook. So the first thing you need to do is to buy the access code, which is $26.95. Then Cengage will send you your access code in your student email. So you need to buy it first, then check your student email. And inside the email from Cengage, you'll find a, I don't know, 9 or 10 digit access code. Then after you have your access code, then you can click this directions to set up your online workbook. And that you'll have to download and open. Okay, so, and it tells you the steps again. So you did this already. You purchased the access code for the online workbook and you checked your email. Number 2 should actually say check your email, or maybe that's on number 6, sorry. Number 2, then you go to the website for my ELT. You can click this link. Then you click on create an account and you want a student account and you need instructor led. That will give you all the assignments that you can submit to me. If you do self-led, then you will not be able to see the assignments and submit the assignments to me and you won't get credit for them. So click the instructor led.
I did that's my mistake. I did that.
Okay, so you
Do I
just
have to buy again or?
No. You can go back and start again with create an account, I believe. Or if you already created an account, then you can, that's a good question. I know you can switch to instructor and student and self-led. So,
I did so.
well, I'm just not sure exactly all the things you have to click, but you can kind of go back, maybe go back to your profile or setup, or I'm not sure. You do you need me to help you with that? Or if you want me to help you after class, you can share your screen with me and we can try to work on it, okay? I'm not a professional at the computer either, or at all the websites. So after you click instructor led, Then you'll put in, let's see here, for the course key, you see the picture here. The course key is this one right here. That's for our special course, E4G, EW4A, blah, blah, blah. You'll put that class code in where it says course key or class code, okay? You also need your access code, which is what you found on your email, and that proves that you bought it, and that you'll put here. So you need two things. You need the class key for my class, and you need the access code to prove that you bought the book. Does that make sense? And I know it's possible because 4 of you joined it. So if you're not sure, I can certainly help you, and we can go through that step by step more carefully after class. Okay? Does that sound good? You guys can just like do a thumbs up or a thank you, Rendella. I like to know, like, are you listening? Do you understand? Seeing your face definitely helps. So thank you. Okay, so I see we have a few more people that joined. I'll stop this so we can see who you are. We have an iPhone. I don't know who that is. Put your name in the chat and tell me who that is, because I can't see you. Who's iPhone today? Where are you? Can you unmute yourself and tell me your name?
Hi, miss. My name is Hanan.
Oh, Hanan. Thank you. I see the top of your eye. And you're so you're using, if it's possible, you can change your name to say your name on here. Let me see. Do you mind if I put your name on it, Hanan?
No, I don't know from where.
I can do it for you. I know how to do it. I can just put Hanan. So then I know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
So do you see on the bottom left, it says Hanan? Yeah. Okay, so now I know who you are. And Alison, good to see you today, or good to have you today, I should say. Good morning. So any other questions about the online workbook or joining those apps? Let's ask those after the Zoom class, after class is over. If you want me to help you step by step, I can do that with you on your screen. Okay, so our next thing on our agenda was telling you about the reading assignment. So I just want to check who's here so that I know who heard this. Okay, we got Mo, we have Hanan. So glad you could join us today, Hanan. You figured out how to use everything, I see. That's great. Rahim and Salah, I don't see. Nesrain. I'm just trying to learn everybody. Monica, where's Monica? There you are. You're in the middle. Abdul Malek, we don't see him today. Rendala, Alison, Bashir, we don't see him. Joanna, and the other Mohammed. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8 of you. So it's really important that you join the Zoom class. One, because you need to have 80% attendance to pass the class. So I do keep attendance to make sure that you're coming. You signed up for the live without the drive, meaning the real-time virtual classes. I assume that means you want to be here and interacting with me. So you do need to attend at least, Hanan, I have you in the waiting room. Sorry. Are you joining with another thing? I guess you have 2 things. You don't need to have 2.
Okay.
All right. So you can stop one of those. Sorry.
Okay.
So you do need to join the Zoom class, 80% of them. That means you can miss a few. You know, if you're sick, you can't come, something's happening that day, fine. But you need to attend 80%, which means you can actually miss 6 of them. But if you miss more than 3 or 4, you're probably going to miss some important information, because some of these people who aren't here today won't hear about reading the novel, and they'll be confused. So I'm so glad that you're here, Congratulations on getting on
Thank you, Miss.
choosing this interactive class. I know sometimes it's uncomfortable or awkward or, oh, I have to get dressed, you know, but, or you feel, maybe some of you feel shy about sharing your screen, but we'll get
Yeah.
used to it. And it's a good way for us to practice English, right? Because 70% of your body, no, 70% of your communication is your body language. Did you know that?
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody. So, you know, your eyes, your face, your smile, you're confused. Those things are really important for us to communicate. And when we're at home during this COVID time and we're not seeing as many people, we kind of lose that interaction. And it's actually better for your mental health to have some, you know, eye contact and communication, connection with other people. So I'm really glad that you're joining this class with your video, everybody. So the next thing I want to tell you about is the reading assignment. Are you ready? How many of you guys like to read in your first language, in Arabic or Spanish? Rendala says yes. So you can just do like yes or yay if you like to read.
Yeah, in English and in Hebrew.
In English and Hebrew and Arabic? Or
No,
not
no Arabic.
Maybe you didn't learn how to read so well in Arabic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Who else said yes? Nesrain, you like to read? What do you like to read? Can you tell us?
I like to read like stories that has action into it.
Okay. So stories with action. Awesome. Anyone else like to read in Arabic or English? Hanan, what do you like
I
to read?
like to read poems.
Oh, okay.
Arabic.
Okay. So Mo, you said you like to read poems. Me too. And Hanan, what do you like to read?
I like to read Arabic. Sometimes English, but I'm not understand very well.
Of course, that's why you're in this class, of course.
Yeah.
But some of you probably don't like to read, not even in Arabic or Spanish, because people are different, right? Some people prefer to listen and watch things and listen to learn. Rahim, do you prefer, what about you? Do you like reading? No.
No, not at all.
All right, that's okay. Joanna, do you like reading?
No.
Nope. And Monica, what about you?
Sometimes.
Sometime. Allison, are you here with us?
Yeah.
Okay, I hadn't heard your voice yet, so I wasn't sure if you were here.
Oh.
Allison, do you like reading in Spanish?
No.
Not so much. Okay, so that's completely normal. There are some people who prefer reading to learn. There's some people who prefer listening to learn. That's probably why some of you are in this class, because you prefer to listen. Rahim, it's going to be easier for you to listen to me than to read all of those directions on Moodle.
Yeah.
Right? So you chose the right class. As you can see, do you see what's behind me?
Wow.
A lot of books,
Do you think that I like to read?
of course.
A lot.
So
You
my
are a reading
husband,
teacher.
here's more. Look over here. Wow.
It's a public library.
Well, it's not public, but it's private. So this is
Wow, teacher. It's amazing.
this is my and my husband's book collection. He probably reads more than I do. And this is actually his desk that he sits at to do his work. But I wanted to show you our books today. So I love to read. I love to read stories. I love to read biographies about people, history. I like to read how to do things. I like to read about my Christian faith and how to pray, how to be closer to God. I like to read Russian books. I like to read about Arabic stuff. I like to read, what else do we have? a lot of things. So, but it's okay if you don't. But for this class, because it is a reading class, you will have to read, okay? So Joanna and Monica and Allison and Rahim, even though you don't like to read, it's something you need to do in order to become a more successful student in the future. So the fun thing that you're going to do is read a book in English this semester. Have any of you read like more than 20-page book in English before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rahim, you did. Awesome.
I did, but I don't like reading.
You
I
did
did-
it, but you don't like it.
Yeah, like I did 4 books before, but I don't like them.
In high school? Did you read them in
Yeah.
high school? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So good for you. So it's not completely
No.
foreign. Randala, you've read a book in English or maybe more?
In high school, yes.
All right. Anyone else read a book in English? Yeah, Nesrine, what did you read in English?
We used to read a book in my high school and do presentation about it.
Okay, great. So some of you already have experience with this, and that's awesome. So it won't be so hard for you. Some of you might be like, oh my gosh, I have to read a book in English, 100 pages? Oh my gosh, I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Right? What do you say in Arabic? Wallah? Wallah. Is that the right way? I don't know.
Yeah.
Really? I have to do this? So, or maybe wallah means I swear. I don't know. I can't remember. So, but you can do it. You're going to do it over 6 weeks. And I'm going to, you'll have step-by-step, week-by-week assignments. So you can choose a book that's a little shorter, or if you're an experienced reader like Rendala or Nesrine, you can choose a book that's a little bit longer if you want. And I have 5 books that I want you to choose from.
So do we pick the book?
Say that again?
Do we choose the book that we're gonna read, or?
Yeah, well, there's 5 of them I'm going to show you. I'm going to show them
I
to you.
thought we choose our own.
Well, it's a little bit hard for people to choose their own because sometimes you choose a book that's too easy or too hard. And
I read it before.
And these books I've read before. They're all books that junior high students would read. So some of you may say, oh, that's easy. But I'm sure you're going to learn some new vocabulary. And of course, you have other homework assignments as well. But these are all junior high level. So like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. They're not super hard at all. Somebody just left us. Who was it? It's hard for me to keep track. Who was that? Rahim. All right, not Rahim, sorry.
No, I'm here.
Mo left us. He's coming back in. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I have to, so if you leave the room and then come back, I have to let you in again. Oh, I have to manage that. Okay, so I have a document with all of the 5 books. I'm just trying to decide. I think I'll share that screen with you, but I'll also show you the books. I have the books right here with me. So I'm going to share my screen and you can see the document. It's on Moodle and I'll show you where to find it. Can you see my Moodle site now?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Okay, so
Miss, we have to show from this 5 books.
yes, unless you really want to read something else, you can ask me, but I prefer if you choose one of these because I know what they are. Who was that asked? Was that Rendala?
I'm Hanan.
Hannah, sorry, I can't, all the people are off my screen now.
Miss, you have other Hanan in your class?
No, just you.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's just that when I'm sharing my screen, I can't see everybody's face, so I can't see who's talking. I can see a few people. It's a little bit awkward.
Sorry about that.
No problem. It's just strange to have a class where I can't really see everybody all the time. But
There's a green line. You can see anybody who's talking. You know who's my
Yeah,
friend.
I see that. But see, I can only find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on my screen when I'm
Yeah.
sharing my screen. Anyway, it's just, a lot for an old woman like me to pay attention to. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. We need to continue here. So on your Moodle site, under week 1, you'll see things you need for reading a novel. Everybody see that? This
Yeah.
is important. Okay, so you're going to click that and you'll see this book here. Maybe this will be you next week. So I say you need to choose a novel, buy it, and start reading it. And so the first thing you need to do, well, I'll say your first reading assignment will be due on Sunday, September 20th. So you have 2 weeks to buy this book and start reading. I want to make sure everyone has time to buy it and receive it. And but you do need to buy it in the next, I would say, 3 to 5 days, as soon as possible, so that you can receive it, Okay, so, and then I want you to email me or tell me or message me your choice. So, and then you'll look here where it says book choices, and you'll click that, and that is a page here on Moodle. Okay, so I'm going to go through this with you. Let me look at my time so I know how much time we have. Okay, great. So each of these books is about the same level. It's about 5th to 8th grade. American students read these when they're in middle school to learn about life and practice reading skills. And why do you need to do this? Extensive reading is beneficial for you for several reasons. You'll increase your reading speed because you read more and faster. You'll learn more vocabulary, grammar, spelling, sentence structure. The more that you see the words in the correct grammar, the better it will go into your head, so that when you're writing for your writing class, you'll be writing more correctly. And it also, this is really important, number 3, it builds your confidence and enjoyment in reading in a second language. So Joanna, maybe right now you feel nervous or like scared, like I can't read in English. But when you do, yeah, I know. I always have students. Many of my students feel scared about that. But once they begin and they say at the end of the semester, you finished a book that's more than 100 pages, you'll be like, I can do it. And then, next semester, when your teacher for 082 or 131 tells you to read a book, you'll say, okay, I can do this. I did it with Mrs. Canapel. I can do it again. So all of these books have won awards, and I listed them from easier to harder. And I also put on here reviews from my students from last semester, because my students read these books last semester and I asked them to write reviews and recommendations. And so I put one of those at the for each book. So you can see what another student said about it. And you can buy and read a paper copy. I prefer paper because I like to hold the book and maybe have a pencil in my hand.
Yeah, we can understand better.
Yeah, I agree. But if you don't want to do paper, you don't want to buy it in paper and wait for it, you can, most of these books you can buy on Kindle or like a digital version from Amazon. So it's up to you, but you do need to read it. I don't want you to get the audio and just listen to it. I mean, that's great listening practice, right? But I want you to actually read the print, because that's a different skill. So somebody like, sorry, Raheem, but somebody like Raheem, who probably prefers to listening to it will be easier, but I do want you to practice the actual reading.
How are you gonna know if we are reading it or listening to it? That's the question.
Well, that's a great question. Will I know? No, I will not know. Because, but you're an adult and you're in this class because you want to learn how to read better, or maybe it's a requirement for you. But seriously, it will help you in your future classes if you practice reading. If it's hard for you, then you need more practice. So you're right, I will not know. Maybe what you want to do is you want to get the audio and the print, and you could listen while you read if you feel you know, like you just can't read, but I really want you to try reading it.
Okay, so
yeah.
Do I have to understand everything in the book or just read?
Good question. You are not going to understand all of the vocabulary and everything, and you do not have to understand every word. That it's almost impossible. When I read books like that I'm reading for myself, there's words I don't understand sometimes. And sometimes I look them up in the dictionary because I'm interested, and sometimes I just skip it and keep reading. So that's a great question. Was that Hanan? I'm not sure who asked that question.
Joanne.
Sorry, Juan. Juan, that's a great question. I want you to just try to like read for comprehension, you know, for enjoyment,
Yeah.
for the story. So if you don't understand everything, that's okay. If you understand 80, 90%, that's great.
Is it gonna be quiz on our test or something? Or
No, that's also a good question. I'm going to have a reading log for you. There'll be an assignment every week where you have to tell me 5 new vocabulary words and tell me something about what you read and how it's connected to your life, or how I'll give you the assignment in a couple weeks. Okay. I don't want to give you all the information right now because there's so much information, but you'll do a reading assignment once a week. And at the end of the book, you're going to write something for me where you'll practice your writing skills, and we'll talk about that when you're done. So, and that will be worth a test score. So it's a writing assignment about the book that's worth 1 test. Does that answer your question? So if you don't do it, will you pass the class? Probably, but you'll have a lot of zeros. And if you have very good other tests and other assignments, you probably can pass the class. But it's a good idea to do it because you're in a reading class and I really want you to practice reading. My students from last semester, when I surveyed them at the end of the semester, almost all of them, if not all of them, said that reading the book, reading the novel was like the best thing they did the whole semester. So my students always say, thank you for having us do that, because it helped me learn so much. Okay, so are you ready for the books?
No.
I like to talk a lot. So 10:02. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm continuing. Who said no?
Me.
I don't know who me is because I don't see any line down here. Let's see. Because I can't see everyone's name. No, seriously, who was that?
Rahim. Me.
Rahim. Okay. Because on my screen, it only shows me 4 people at a time. So,
You
okay.
can scroll.
I know, but I don't want to stop to do that, right? Salah, nice to see you. Don't forget to put your name in the chat. And Bashir, did you join us as well? Yes. Don't forget to put your name in the chat so that I know you're here. Okay, great. All right, so the first one is called
So that's the only book we're gonna buy, right? Or we have another one because I just came.
Yeah, okay, because you joined late, maybe I should talk to you after the class. Where you have to buy your online workbook, which is the textbook, and then you also have to buy one of these novels. You can buy paper or digital, and it's probably about $2.
Yeah, the online textbook, I already buy it.
Okay,
this
great.
one.
Very good. And Bashir, make sure I think you signed up for it, yeah. So if anybody joins late and has questions, you can always ask me at the end of class, but I don't want to repeat everything, okay? All right, so so this one, if you can see me, I can show you the book I have. It's called Number the Stars, and you can read all of these descriptions here. This is a book about 2 young friends who are growing up in Denmark in 1943 during World War II. And one is Christian and one's Jewish, and they have to decide what to do when the when the Nazis come to find all the Jewish people. So all of these are good. This is a really good story if you want to learn more about what happened during World War II and Nazis and the Jewish people. That's the shortest one, 137 pages. And I put a picture here and I put a link to Amazon for each of these books. You don't have to buy it on Amazon. You can buy it somewhere else, but this is just for you to get started so you see what the different prices are. And they're all under, I think $10 or under. And maybe, you know, it might take 7 or 10 days to get to your house. So you need to order them as soon as possible. Order one.
So do we have
Okay.
to finish the book before we finish the semester, or no?
Yeah, you're going to have 6 weeks to finish it. So we're going to break up the book into 6 pieces, 6 parts, and you have 6 weeks to do it.
Oh.
You don't need a whole semester. That would be way too long to read you'd forget what happened at the beginning by the time you get to the end. So again, you have good questions, but I answered them earlier before you got here. So here's a review, and you can read these. I would like you to read these tomorrow, the next day, the next day. I'm just going through them quickly. You can decide on your own time. The next one is called Breadwinner. Here it is, I have it here. This one takes place in Afghanistan in the 1990s, and this is also takes place kind of during the time when the Taliban was in control of Kabul. And it's about this girl and how she has to survive with her family. Another good book. I learned a lot about Afghanistan from it. That one's 152 pages, and probably this one and this one are probably the easiest ones if you want something easy and you're scared of reading.
The first one is the easier one?
I put them from easiest to hardest. So I would say these two are probably the easiest. Number of the Stars and The Breadwinner. All right. They're both really good. And even as an adult reader, I love these stories. They're both really good. All of them are good stories, in my opinion. Okay, then we have Hatchet. Here's my copy. And that is about a boy, a 12-year-old boy whose airplane crashes in the middle of nowhere in Canada, and he needs to survive in the wilderness by himself. And it tells you all about, you know, his story and how he survives. This is fiction, by the way. These are fiction. They're not true, but they're based, the first two are based on history. This one is based on what could happen to somebody. It did not happen for real. Maybe it did, but this is not a real story. This is a fictional story. All right. The next one is Little House on the Prairie. And this is actually a series, but this is the second one in the series. And this one's a bit longer, but do you see the words? The print is pretty big. I don't know if you can see that. And there are pictures in this book. So this one is 335 pages, but the print is bigger and there's pictures. Some of my students really like this book because it's about a family. This is a true story. Laura Ingalls Wilder is a woman who grew up in the 1800s in America, and she tells a story about her family and how they moved from place to place and learned to survive and build a home on the prairie. So if you want to learn a little bit about American history while you're reading a story, this is a good one. It's a little bit longer, but it's still a middle school level. I read this book when I was probably 8 years old, and it was one of my favorite books. The last one is called Wonder. And if you are somebody who really likes to read and you want something that's a little bit longer and has more like conversational English, this is also a really good book. And it's about a boy who has a face deformity, like his face is not formed correctly. And he starts going to school, I think when he's about, I forgot how old he is in here, 10 or 12 years old. And it's from his perspective. So he writes it from I this, I that, and also it's from other people's perspective in his life as well. It's a little bit longer, and it has more conversational English. So if you feel like you want a little more of a challenge, you can read this. I have several students, these two students especially, who read it, and they loved it so much. I have students that love this book a lot. Also, there's a movie on it. Some of these books have movies. So you might say, should I watch the movie or not? That's up to you. I like to read the book first and then watch the movie so that I don't find out what happens at the end before I start reading the book. But if you want to like get an idea about the book and watch the movie first and then read it, you can do that. As an English learner, that might help you, but it's up to you. Just make sure that you actually read the book and not only watch the movie, okay? Again, I will not know, except that sometimes the movie's different than the book, right? So I want you to practice reading. All right, so you can look at this document. This is in Moodle. I want you to look at it today, tomorrow, the next day. I want you to make a choice and message or email me your choice and order the book so that you can get it and start reading it so that you'll probably read about 20 or 30 pages for your first assignment, which will be on September 20th. So you have a few weeks, but it takes time, right? Does anybody have any questions about that?
Does it come with audio, like listening audio book, or just you have to buy like?
Well, some of them you could buy on audio. I mean, it's possible, or you can even go to the library. I don't know if libraries are open these days. Is the Dearborn Library open? Does anybody know about that?
No, they're closed.
Because of COVID, they
They're
tested.
closed, all of them.
Yeah. Okay, well, usually I tell my students they can get a book at the library. You may be able to pick up books there. I don't, like, you may be able to order them and pick them up. I'm not really sure right now. Like I said, who's asking about the audio? Who was that? Was that you, Mo? Okay. Mo, like I said, you can listen to the audio while you're reading it at the same time, but I want your eyes to be reading because it's a different skill and you may feel comfortable listening, right? But you may not feel very comfortable reading, but that's the point of this class. The class is to help you read.
No, read and listen at the same time.
Yeah, and you could try that, but you'd have to buy the audio and the print.
They're separate. They're not together.
I think they're different. If you go to Amazon, you just sort of have to research it. There may be an audio copy on Audible. You could get a free account and get one book free, I think. I'm not really sure because I don't use that, but you could Google it or find out about it. And in the discussion part on Moodle, that might be a good place for you to ask other students, like, did you find this on audio, or how are you guys finding this? Remember, you can always talk to each other on that discussion section on our Moodle class. Raheem, are you okay? You look like you. Thank you for having your video. See, all these other people could be sleeping, but I don't know.
Was sleeping.
No, Miss, we're not sleeping.
I know. I'm just kidding you. I like to tease you. Thank you. As you get to know me, I'm a teacher who likes to get to know my students and have some, friendly relationships. So, okay. So in the next few days, I want you guys to look at that again, make your choices, and tell me what your choice is. All of them are good. Okay. And you choose one, just one. Okay, time it is. It's 10:13, and I have a few other things to do. So, what was next on our list? Vocabulary, right? So the things you'll need to do, let me just tell you a few things. Monday, we have no Zoom class because it's a holiday, and I like to give you that day off. It's Labor Day. Most schools and businesses are closed. Stores might be open. So I want to give you that chance to just have the barbecue with your family, take your last day of summer, and hopefully it'll be a nice day you can enjoy, and finish getting everything together for your class, finish getting your books, finish understanding everything that you're setting up. So we will not have a Zoom class on Monday, but you have some things due on Friday and Sunday. and Tuesday, because you may remember that I told you that you'll have, again, I'll share my screen so you can see
For the 5,000 points.
the 5,000 points. Yes, it's not so hard to get 5,000 points. Don't
Can
worry.
we do it like 10,000 and then we don't do it the next week?
That's a really good question. This is my first time using Memrise. And the thing is that the points get erased after the first week, every week. So every weekend, Sunday at 5 or I don't know, Sunday night, the points are erased. And so if you do 10,000 points in 1 week, well, let's just say I would prefer you to just do like, keep doing it every week, because that's going to help you remember it. The point is to memorize the words, and the more days and the more often you do it, the better you're going to remember it. So if you do all of them on one day and then you don't look at it again for 2 weeks, you're probably going to forget it. But
Gives you the points easy. I did it in 1 hour.
oh, great. That's good to hear. So 5,000 points you can do in 1 hour?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Because this is my first time using it, so I wasn't sure. I don't want to make it too hard for you because you have other assignments to do, like your reading, right? Raheem, you'll spend your other time reading. So just do 5,000. If you want to keep doing it, you can keep doing it, and then just do another 5,000 the next week. But you do need to do 5,000 each week by Friday. So you'll see complete by Friday, 5,000 points on Memrise. So you can click this link, get into our group, and start learning the Unit 1 words. Was that easy for you to do, Raheem? Was it easy to understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives you the definition and then you match it and then you...
Yeah. So I noticed that 7 or 8 of you, make sure you mute yourself. Who is that? Hanan?
No, miss, not me.
Sorry, somebody's in the back. Muting is good when you're not talking, because then we don't hear everybody in the background, right? But I do want to hear you. If you want to talk, unmute. So some of you have not joined the Memrise group yet. You'll need to do that soon and complete your 5,000 points. All right. Then on Sunday, you will have a quiz that's right here. You can click it. In fact, it's available after this class is over. Today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can do it anytime. And there's 20 questions, and it's all about the syllabus, the welcome letter, and week 1. They're pretty easy questions, but I just want to make sure you understand about the class. And actually, you can keep doing it again and again until you get 90%, because I want you to understand all of this information. So it's just kind of like a fun practice, but also a quiz to make sure you know what's going on. Also, you'll introduce yourself here. I'll click that for you. And you will answer some of these questions about yourself. I noticed that many of you did this already. You'll add a new discussion topic. So Hanan, Randala, I don't think Randala, you didn't write your introduction. You just asked a question. So I may delete that for you, Randala. I don't know if I can. But you'll write your introduction, and Juwan, you did it also. So everybody needs to start a discussion topic, write an introduction about yourself, answering some of these questions about English learning and why you want to learn English, all of this stuff here, about 200 words. That way I can get to know you even better. And also, by Tuesday, you must reply to 3 other students. A positive, encouraging comment, something you share in common, polite, curious question. You need to respond to 3 people with a complete sentence, 2 or 3 sentences, so that you can start getting to know each other. Does that make sense?
I can ask something like...
Sure. You can ask something if it's polite. I'm sure you're all polite, Hanan. You don't want to ask a question like, how much money is your house? How much did you pay for your house? or, you know, what's your boyfriend's name? No, you probably don't want to ask those questions, but you know
Not
what I mean.
those, miss.
Of course, you can ask, you know, polite, curious questions. So you need to put up your discussion, your introduction by Sunday, and then respond to 3 people by Tuesday. And this I will read, and I'm giving you a grade for this. So as long as you do it and you follow the directions, you'll be good. Okay. Next, let's go back. I'm running out of time, you guys. You will find out that Mrs. Canapel has a lot of things to say, and I usually can't finish everything in one class. Okay, so you're going to do your quiz. You're going to introduce yourself. And here's the last one that I just need to give you some directions on because it might be confusing at first. This is a vocabulary glossary. And you're going to have a glossary, which is like a dictionary, for each unit. And everybody shares it. So everybody can see the same one. And for each unit, you are going to put a glossary, what should I say? A glossary entry for one word. So everybody's going to have one word. Some people are going to have 2 words because we have 20 words and 14 students. And for the next unit, the people that have 2 words will have 1 word. Do you know what I mean?
That's why, miss, why I ask you, you have other Hanan? Because I see I have 2 words.
Oh, yes. So you opened this. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me show you this. Very good. You're going to I'll open this for you here. And here's the directions. You're going to make a glossary entry for 1 or 2 words that your name is next to. So students with a star next to their name will do 2 glossary entries for this unit. Next unit, you'll do only 1 because I'm just going to rotate it. Okay. So this is the vocabulary list, all of these words here for unit 1. And so Mohammed A, yeah, Mo, that's you, Mo. Mo, you'll do aggressive, and then you've got another one down here, observe. Hanan, you'll do ambitious and previously. Rahim, you're gonna do behavior and, I'm sorry, I can't see. Behavior and,
Replace.
where are you? Replace. Nesrain, you'll do care for and social structure. Salah, you'll do conflict and status. Omar's not here, so I don't know. If he doesn't do it, then I'll do it for him. Then Monica, you'll do discipline. Abdul Malek, he's not here. He'll do establish. Rendala, extended family. Elisun, gender. Bashir, generally. Juana, intense. Zainab, I think, dropped our class, so I'll do hers. And Mohammed Y will do motivation. Okay, so what are you going to do with these words is your question, right? I will show you. So I'm going to take Zainab's word because she dropped this class. So Zainab had interact, right? Okay. Let me go back and show you how to make your entry. Do this. And the directions are right here. So what should we do? I have to look at the directions and do the glossary at the same time. How am I going to do that? Well, let me show you the glossary first. I may need to make the directions a thing you can download so you can download it. All right, so here's the glossary and what it will look like. So then you can check. Oh, I see you did something, Hanan. Okay, so let me show you. Hanan started, but there's more directions than that, Hanan. So thank you for
I don't know,
starting.
it's correct or no, miss.
Yeah, okay. So listen and you'll see the correct way. So the directions, which are on that other page, will give you all of this information. And what you're going to do, and I'll show you how to do it, you're going to add a picture. So I use the word glossary. I put the word glossary. What is a glossary? Here's a picture of a glossary. I just Googled glossary and clicked image, and then I chose an image, and I'll show you how to put it in there. Then I recorded my voice.
Glossary.
You will record your voice.
Glossary.
You'll record your voice saying the word as best you can. Then you'll say if it's a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. Glossary is a noun. Then you'll put the definition. It's an alphabetical list of terms or words found or relating to a specific subject, text, or dialect. A brief dictionary. You'll find that on a dictionary site or on Memrise. You can use the definition, any definition that you find and understand. Then I used the word in a phrase. So you can use this site, which I put on that list, called just the word, I think. And you'll type it in and you'll find the other words that go around it. So glossary of terms goes together. It's a way that we use the words together. It's called a collocation. Then you're going to Google the word. My word is glossary, and click news and find a sentence or a title that has the word. And so I found Surviving COVID-19, a glossary of key terms you should know. This was the name of a article on Gulf News, and I put the link right here, and I said when it's published and who it's published by. So then you should really find a sentence, but my word is weird and there was no sentences with glossary. But I would like you to find a sentence and put the sentence here. So then you have an example. Okay, then what is this? Let's see.
Surviving COVID-19, a glossary of key terms you should know.
Then you'll put a recording of your voice reading the sentence with the word. Then you'll ask a question for other students to answer. Why do you think a glossary is helpful? And I also recorded my voice.
Why do you think a glossary is helpful?
Then you can use some tags. I'll show you how to do all this. This is a noun and it's a thing. And then other students will make comments here to answer your question. So this is all to help you understand one or two words really well. And then you're gonna use them in conversation with other students answering their question. So you're just making one or two of these pages every 2 weeks, okay? It's not every day. Okay, so how do you do it? You're gonna add a new entry, okay? You're gonna click on add new entry. You're going to put your word here under concept, interact. I'm gonna do interact right now. This is Zainab's word. Then you're going to put all of that information here under definition. Okay, so remember I had to find a picture first. So you can go up here to this picture. You see where it says insert image? You click on that and you'll have to find a picture from the internet first and then enter the address here. So how do I do that? It'll take some time. You'll go and you'll put interact. I'm gonna Google that word and then I'm gonna click on images. Oh, look, I like this picture. This is people interacting, right? So I will save that. How do I do this? I think I copy the image address. And then I'm gonna go back to my, glossary. And then I'm gonna, I think this will work. Sometimes you have to try a couple things. You're gonna put in the address, I believe. We're gonna make it a little smaller. So you're gonna play around with this and you'll learn how to do it. That's what I had to do. There we go, look. Ta-da, I've got people interacting, right? Thank you, Rahim. And then to make a recording of your voice, all right, we'll go back. This is so cool, you guys. I think it's so cool. You click this microphone here. You see that? You're gonna record something. And I'm gonna click start recording. Interact. So now I have a little recording and I'm gonna attach it. And there's my voice saying interact. Let's test it. Interact. All right, awesome, I like it. If I don't like it, I can delete it and do it again. And then this is a verb, so I'll put verb. And then you have to do those other things. You're going to put the definition here. You're going to put the collocations. You're going to put the example sentence, all of those things that are in the directions. You're going to record your sentence. Whoops, record your sentence. You're going to ask a question. So maybe I'll ask, who do you interact with every day? Then I'll record that question. So I'll record the question. I'm going to actually record it, not type record, right? And then I think I'm done. So, oh, I can add, I don't need to add keywords and I don't need to add a file. I can add tags. That's what I do down here. So maybe I want to do a tag. Sorry, is this how I do this? I'm new with tags. Okay. So yeah, so maybe I want to do a tag that says it's a verb. Yeah. And it's, what would I say? Needs, or it's a positive. It's a positive verb. And I'll give you some other ideas for those things. All right, so then I'm going to say save changes. And now I have my page. Of course, with this thing, you know, these I have to do correctly. But I've got my glossary entry for interact, my picture, my recording, all of this stuff. And then students are going to respond to my question. Why do you or who do you interact with every day? So then another student will write something like, I interact with my daughter and husband and sometimes students, right? Let's see. So then I can save my comment. Now, of course, you are not going to answer your own question, but you're going to answer 5 other people's questions. So that way you're interacting with each other. Okay, now let me stop sharing this so I can find out how you're doing, because I did a lot there. Sorry. I need to do this. Okay, here you are. So, does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Anan, you get it? Randala?
Yeah.
Yeah? Bashir, Joanna, Nesrain, Salah, Allison, Monica? So you'll have to do your word or 2 words by Sunday in the glossary. And if you don't do it correctly, you can try it again. I'll help you. The first time is always weird because you don't know exactly what to do. But you'll follow my directions. You'll follow my example. And everything is on that Moodle site under Sunday, what you need for Sunday. Then there's no class on Monday, no Zoom class. On Tuesday, what do you need to do by Tuesday? Let's check. One more time. Let's check. Today is a day where I'm talking a lot because I have a lot of directions to give you. Normally, you're going to interact with each other during our Zoom classes, don't worry. Okay, so you'll go down here to week 1, right? And what do we have? We have Friday, the memorize points, Sunday, the quiz on the syllabus in the week 1. Introduce yourself in the vocabulary glossary for your 1 or 2 words, which you find here. And the directions are all here. And here's a link where you'll find those collocations where for your word. And again, all the directions are here. Then Tuesday, what does it say for Tuesday? homework to do by Tuesday. This is a questionnaire using the vocabulary words. So you'll click here to see the directions for that. And you'll do a questionnaire with the 8 words from reading 1, and you'll answer the questions. All the directions are there. I'm going to let you read them because this is a reading class. I'll let you read the directions. So you have something for Friday, 3 things for Sunday, and 1 thing for Tuesday, in addition to replying to your other students. So they're little things, and the first week there maybe seems like a lot of things to do, but they're little things that should take you maybe 4 or 5 hours each week. Maybe this week is less, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a week doing all of the assignments that you need to do. It's a 5-credit class, so remember you have a lot of things to do. All right, what time is it? 10:35.
What about the practice quiz to use during class?
Exactly. I was just going to tell you, you're going to do that at the end of this class. We won't do it during class. And usually I'm going to take time to teach you the vocabulary words that was on our agenda, but we talked a lot about those books and things. Directions take time. So I wanted to give you time to learn the directions and introduce all of those books to you. So we didn't do the vocabulary words together, but you'll do them on your memorize and on your homework. So the last thing you'll do is after you end this class, you will open your quiz. It's a really easy quiz, okay? It's just a practice, excuse me. It's just a practice how to take a quiz. You'll open this on Moodle. You'll close your Zoom, open your quiz, and there's a password. So the tricky thing is, if you don't go to Zoom class, you will not get the password and you will not be able to do the quiz. The quiz shows me that you were in class, you were listening, and you got the password, and the quiz is about things usually that we do in class. So your question is, what is the password, right? I will type the password and I will also tell you. Today it's an easy one. So normally I'll type it in the chat at the end of class, but you see here you need to know the password. The password is 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you remember that?
I already did it.
The password is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're not in the Zoom class and you turn on your video and then you walk away and go have breakfast with your...
Maybe somebody else is gonna call me and tell me the password.
I know, there's always ways to cheat. You guys, there's always ways to cheat. I'm just trying to encourage you to do the right thing. So, so get the password, put it in, and do the quiz, okay? And then I'll see that you did it. It's an easy quiz, and on this quiz I'm just showing you true and false, matching, multiple choice questions, fill in the blank. It's just practicing different questions. There's some questions about me. By the way, just before you open the quiz, do you remember where I was born? Some of you, I told you were here on, if you were here.
Yeah, but you're originally from
Detroit.
I was born in Detroit, and anyone who is born in America is an American citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an American citizen, and I've lived in America most of my life. Although, do you remember I told you I lived in a different country for a few years?
In
Yes.
Russia and
Canada and Russia.
And what?
Russia.
Chicago.
But the first language is English.
But I didn't hear what you said, Canada and Russia, right? I lived in Canada and Russia, but I'm American. And what do you think? Is my first language English?
Yep.
Yes.
English is my only
And
fluent.
you learn, I think, at school.
I learned what?
You learn Russian language.
I did learn some Russian and some French, and a very, very, very small
But
amount
the
of...
first language is English.
Yes. Do you capitalize the E when you're writing English?
Yep, always.
Yes. It should be a capital for all languages. So when you're writing it in the quiz, use a capital E and use the correct spelling. Okay. Any other information you need? I think you can do all the rest of the quiz quite easily. It's just a practice quiz. So maybe some of you are doing it right now, but you can, you'll have 10 minutes. So normally what we'll do, I'll give you the password, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case. It'll change each day. I'll give you the password. You'll close the class, do your quiz, and you'll have 10 minutes to do the quiz, 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how long it is. And then you're done. That means you came to class, you understood, you're listening, and you get 15, those quizzes are 15% of your grade. So it's important to do it. Come to class, do the quiz, participate, you'll learn English. So, and some of you want to ask me some questions. The quiz will be open. I'll keep the quiz open, and this quiz is open forever, but normally I'll keep the quiz open until like 11 o'clock. If we're running late, I'll change it to 11:15. Won't be a problem. Okay, so any other quick questions for me before we say goodbye? And if you have a long question, I can answer it after everybody leaves.
Yeah, are you recording this meeting?
Actually, I am, and I'm trying to decide if I should make the recording available. I don't know if I should or not. What do you guys think? Does anybody feel uncomfortable if I record this? Like you don't want other people to see it later?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Because I know some people have, trouble with that. Would you like to see, like, if you miss a class, would you actually watch this recording or no?
Yes.
No,
Yes, I will.
Yes.
I don't.
Thank you for being honest. I wouldn't either. Okay, so I wanted to ask you about that. I am recording this and I will put the recordings in another section on our Moodle under Zoom recordings. And then I'll just put it as a link there and you can find it later. Sound good?
Yes.
Monica, you just look so amazing with that background, doesn't she? You're like a professional, what do you call those? Professional YouTuber.
It's my bed set.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, Trevor.
Okay, any other questions before we say goodbye?
I have to go because I have another class at 11 o'clock.
Okay, that's good to know. So I will make sure I end at 10:30 and I will say goodbye. And if anybody has a question, you can stay on here. Otherwise, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank
not
you.
Tuesday.
Bye, Miss. Nice to meet you.
See you
Bye.
on. Bye.
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 Goodbye. Goodbye. You have a question, anybody here? Does anybody want to ask me something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we-
we're gonna do the quiz right now after the class?
Yes, do it right now.
Okay, quiz about what? I forget.
It's just practice. It's easy stuff.
Okay.
What's your
Alright.
teacher? Is your teacher American or not? What's her language? You'll see. It's easy stuff.
Alright.
It's just